ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्ददामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः।
Welcome to this 13th class, and we are adding one sloka in each sloka to start with. And now we will start quickly with the planned slokas, and finally, if time permits, we can discuss that whatever we planned for the next class onwards. So we will start with the sloka number 38 of second chapter. Up to 37 we discussed last. So 38 we can start.
ततो युद्धाय युज्यस्व नैवं पापमवाप्स्यसि. Chapter 2, verse 38. Taking pleasure and pain, gain and loss, victory and defeat to be the same, prepare for battle. Thus, you will gain no sin. That's the translation.
That is what equanimity, karma yoga. That is, our action should not be based on raga and dvesha, likes and dislikes. It has to be based on dharma. So what is to be done at that time? Bhagavan is telling Arjuna, you do, and karma yoga is over. That is, we have discussed for 2 class. So whatever the thing, it is told this sukha, dukkha, then this one labha and profit and loss, success and failure, pleasure and pain. That you take it as prasada bhava, Ishvara's this thing, and execute your duties. Now, in the battlefield, what Arjuna's dharma is fighting. So when you do the dharma in the appropriate, as per the appropriate circumstances, whatever as per dharma, your sadharma, it will not create sin. Naivam papam avaptis. That's what this sloka says. So he is motivating to fight. So that is what going on for 20 slokas. Either Bhagavan is telling, na sochitam arhasi, there's no need to grieve, or you start fight. So this is also one of the sloka which is almost ending with this. Then next sloka is little wide spectrum, but not only for Arjuna, for everyone. So that we will go to the sloka number 45 of second chapter.
Chapter 2, verse 45. The subject matter of the Vedas is related to the 3 variable qualities. Arjuna, be one who is free from the hold of these threefold qualities, from the sorrow of the pairs of opposites. Be one who is ever established in Sattva Guna, who is free from the anxieties of acquiring and protecting, and who is a master of oneself. That's the translation.
This sloga comes after three slogas of 42, 43, 44. There, Bhagavan is telling about going to Swarga and everything. So, going to Swarga, there's a lot of examples are there, but I don't know whether time will permit. So, Swargaloka is Bhoga Sharira. There is no change in the body's 6 changes. Is not there for body. So there is a full bhoga. But unfortunate thing is that once the punya is over, the person has to come back to earth. That is, we already discussed in the second or third class. After that, he is telling about Vedas Karma Kanda. Traigunya Vishaya Veda, Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna. Means totally you cannot be free from all the 3 gunas, because that is Maya. With that only we are also discussing everything. So more of Sattvic Guna, that also we discussed, will help us to understand this subtle subject and also enjoy the benefits of bliss, happiness, satisfaction, shanti and everything, tranquility. That is what more of Sattvic Guna. So for that, discrimination is required. Discrimination is required means that is what is right, what is wrong. So these things are within the Karma Kanda. But the same discrimination has to be stretched to Atma Anatma Viveka. That is real, unreal. That we have already seen in 20 slokas from 11 to 30. So that is what. Here, within that Vedas purview of Karma Kanda, the birth and cycle will continue. Veda is telling those things in the beginning, because that is what bringing the people into fold of Dharma in the Laukika Karma, worldly achievements, earning, sharing, and also all dharmic activities. But there is something more than that. We have to transcend that. That is Vedanta. That is what starting now. So that is what transcending the 3 gunas. Transcending means more of Sattvic gunas. Nirdvando Nitya Sattvasta. Sattvasta means predominantly in Sattvic you establish, and then that will help you to come over the duality. So that is this slogas. Still brief meaning. The next sloga also is connected to that. I thought both will be together. Anyway, next sloga is very interesting one with an example of well and floods.
2.46.
2.46.
सर्वतः संप्लुतोदके तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजानतः.
Chapter 2, verse 46. For the Brahmana who knows the self, all the Vedas are of only so much use as a small reservoir is when there is flood everywhere. That's the translation.
So here that one word is there, Brahmana. So it is nothing to do with the caste. Again, I will repeat wherever this word comes. It is, as per this one initial classes told, Shamo, Damaha, Tapaka, Saucham, Shanti, tolerance, Arjom Evacha, Jnana Vijnana Mastikyam, Brahma Karma Svabhavacham. So that type of people, thinking people, those who are having discrimination, dharmic, and also means inclined to Vedanta and everything, having followed all dharmas. And briefly we can say it is guna. People categorized highest based on guna. Next is karma. The lowest is jati. So that jati which should never come into this picture. So that is what this says. So those who are having this kind of dharmic thing and thinking people and discrimination, and also in Vedanta, those people who come to this knowledge, come to know about this knowledge, self-knowledge, Atma-Jnana. That is what I am everything. When I understand I am everything, what about the Karmakanda's portion that is going to Swarga, taking a better birth next time, getting a putra? So they are all insignificant. When I am everything, the full 14 lokas are in me, then what is the meaning of going to Swarga? That is what the example is given. Yavanartha udapane. That is, well will be useful when the situation is normal and there is no water anywhere. People take water from the well. But when there is a floods, full of water, you will not be able to locate the well. But why you should locate the well? Everywhere there is water. So it may cause damage to the crops, but that is not the question here. We will see the example. There is a well. From that well, people take water for usage of the house. We will see. House is in a higher place. But when there is a floods, well will be submerged. And above the well, there is 2 feet water. The house is about 10 feet. This happens in Kerala. So, when you want water just from the house, put a pot and take from anywhere. You need not search for the well. Well itself will be submerged. That is what here, when you understand you are everything, there is you are transcending the Veda's injunctions of getting better birth and going to Swarga and everything is nothing in front of this. Okay, this Ananda Mimamsa example I will tell some other time. This time I will tell about some other examples when it comes to other slokas. Okay, then this very nice example, so, this one, example of well and floods. So we will go to the next sloka, I think 2.51.
बुद्धियुक्ताहि फलं त्यक्त्वा मनीषिणः जन्मबन्धविनिर्मुक्ताः पदं गच्छन्त्यनामयम्.
Chapter 2, verse 51. The wise, endowed with the attitude of Karma Yoga, having given up the results of action, free from the bondage of birth, indeed accomplish the end that is free from all afflictions. That's the translation.
Here, Puja Swami Dayananda Saraswati, this discussion was very good. In Karma Yoga, we are asked not to give too much importance to the result or take the result in equanimity. In the first sloka also we saw. So, the person does work without much expectation in the office and in the house. And while praying also, you should not pray for any particular thing. So what are these things? All the things, prayer or action. These are the more, these two activities are given importance and they occupy most of the waking period. Activities and prayer. Nowadays maybe activities may be 95%, prayer 5%, whatever may be. In both these things, if we should have equanimity, means what? In action, equanimity. Not giving too much importance to the result. Ishwararpanam buddhi while doing the action, prasada bhavana while taking the results. Then when doing puja, don't ask anything. This is what? Karma yoga. Especially in action. In puja, it is a higher way of doing a puja. That is as a duty, as a model. In the process of seeking. After getting the knowledge, it is a glory. That is enjoyable. That is, we have not come to that stage also. But we are proceeding means we should not expect the things in the action. So That is what the question here. Question. It is not the answer, okay? Question is that at the end of the life, all the actions we are doing without expectation and puja also without arguments, we will be not having punya. So we are left with nothing, empty at the end of life. But Bhagavan is telling not that. Karma Yoga is attached to Jnana Yoga. That is what this one, no? That is Bhagavad Gita's Brahma Vidyaya Yoga Sastra. So yoga is the Jnana Yogida Prapti, then Jnana Prapti. That is attached. So definitely the person will proceed, and if he is not able to attain the Jnanam, he will continue in the next part. That's already discussed as in the third class, 6th chapter in sloka. So nothing is wasted. That is what 40th sloka of second chapter. Second chapter we already discussed. I don't want to bring now. So it is not wasted. So here, Janma Bandha, this one, this second line is telling free from birth, death cycle. So there is a Kaivalya Upanishad mantra is there in that 117th, I think. That is Jagrat Swapna Shushuktyadi Prabanjam Yat Prakashade Yat Brahmaham Jnatva Sarva Bandhai Pramuchyade. You are released from bondage. That is cited here also in the second line. So this beautiful sloga. Remember, first of all, whatever you do as per Karma Yoga, it will not be a waste. You will not be left with empty hand. You will be fullness. Fullness means you are everything. That is the ultimate end. Otherwise, you will pick up the thread in the next birth. And also, that is next birth. If you don't get the knowledge, but if you get the knowledge that you are everything, that is the Atmajnana, then it will free you from birth, death cycle. So that is a beautiful sloka. Then this is the next sloka is also there, 52 of second chapter. No?
Chapter 2, verse 52. When your intellect crosses over the impurity of delusion, then you shall gain a dispassion towards what has been heard and what is yet to be heard. That's the translation.
This sloka has got one speciality. So these are all when you progress very nicely in this pursuit. So Moha Kalilam, that Kalmisha, that is whatever the impurities in the mind will go, and we will not be having that kind of craving towards worldly thing and everything. And here, what is the specialty means? What is heard now and what you will be hearing in future. You will not fall prey. This is the beauty. Whatever modern science brings to you in future, means 2025, 2030, anything. Now Google Home and everything, whatever it tells it, then Wi-Fi, like that modern things comes. So that is the beauty of this knowledge. Not only now, the things will not attract you. Whatever new things come in life. Life means what? Marketing people, technology. New technology brings so many things. That also will not attract you because you are transcending everything. You are transcending the whole universe as per the Atmajnana. So this is the beauty of this sloka. Second line says, now what you hear and also in future what means what? The temptations will come in the world. That will not attract you. You will transcend. You will not lack anything. The fullness will take care of. All are interconnected. That Udapane, that is flood and the well, and this is another beautiful thing. So presently and future, nothing can attract you because at the same time the fullness will be there, cheerfulness, And contentment means what? The totality. Totality will be there. As if you are the everything. As if means what? Actually, that is the truth. I am everything. You will be knowing. So, in the present also, future also, nothing will tempt you. That is the beauty of this sloka. Then next sloka is a question by Arjuna. That is combined with the Bhagavan's first sloka answer. 2-3 sloka, Bhagavan is answering about the person who has stabilized in this knowledge. We study in this knowledge. Sthita Prajna. The Sthita Prajna is one of the word used in Bhagavad Gita's context of Jnani. 3 words. Anyway, I will tell you now itself. Sthita Prajna from the point of 2nd chapter. And also it is Karma Yoga. At the end I am planning to tell you how we are structuring from the next class onwards. Because this class we are want to complete 1 round of teaching as per Bhagavad Gita, Atma Jnana and benefits. So if the time permits, at the end I will tell you. That's why I told you we will try to finish this class at the earliest. 72 slokas all are covered. That is 16 slokas, selected slokas. 72nd is the last one. After that, a few minutes I will tell the next round onwards. Here, Sthita Prajna's Lakshana, Bhagavan is telling. That is Karma Yoga Pradhana. Then next is Dhyana. Then Parabhakta. Lakshanas are there about the Jnani. Then in 14th chapter, Gunadita. Parabhakta mainly in 12th chapter, Gunadita in 14th chapter. 3 types of definitions are there. Not only 3, many are there, but these 3 are very famous. So this is Sthita Prajna's symptoms Arjuna is asking in the next sloka, 54 I think. Then 55, 56 and also 57, Bhagavan is telling the Lakshana. So we will combine 54 and 55.
Chapter 2, verse 54. Arjuna said, Keshava, that is Krishna, what is a description of a person of firm wisdom? One whose mind abides in the self. How does such a person, whose mind is not shaken by anything, speak, sit and walk? That's the translation.
That's the next one.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha Prajahati Yada Kama Sarvam Partha Manogatam Atman Evatmana Tushtaha Sthita Prajna Sadurshade.
Chapter 2, verse 55. Sri Bhagavan said, when a person gives up all the desires as they appear in the mind, happy in oneself with oneself alone, Partha, Arjuna, that person is said to be one of ascertained knowledge. That's the translation.
So first set of symptoms, Lakshanas of Jnani. The Jnani will be free from all desires, but he may not keep quiet. This is the Lakshana. So it is very difficult to distinguish a Jnani from the Jnani for normal people. Because for identifying a Jnani, you have to get Jnanam. But once you get a Jnani, there is no need for you to identify a Jnani. Because, for example, if you are searching for a wise person to get the teaching, it is very difficult for you to find. But here the symptoms are told so that the symptoms you can cultivate. Based on the symptoms, you cannot select the Guru. So these symptoms are told, it is very difficult to accept also. So symptoms means what? The Lakshana means that is not in the way of his walking, or not the way of his sitting, not the way of even speaking. A kind of cheerfulness in the face you can identify. But the inner mindset of the Jnani, Sarvan Partha Manogata, means all desires he transcends. I tell the people, I challenge also some students about 4 years ago. I told I don't have any desire, but I don't keep quiet. I always engage. So then they agree. But if I tell the wise person symptom, wise person will be like that. How can it be like that? Then I tell For example, I can tell I don't have any desire, but I don't keep quiet. Positive activity, sharing and everything. That definitely it happens. Total desirelessness accompanied with happiness. How can it happen? Unless otherwise a person is fully happy with himself, how he can be free from desires? Yes, it happens. A person who gets wisdom is totally happy with himself or herself. Just like example is given as a sugar crystal does not need sweetness. Sugar is sweet by itself, honey or something. Honey also like that. So that is the thing, the Lakshana, the Swarupa, the nature. The nature of the person is happiness, satisfaction, peace and security. How it can come? He identifies himself with Atma and not with body, mind, intellect. This is the secret of security. Without eyesight, I am telling, if I tell I am totally secure, it looks like a ridiculous statement from the point of body. One step also, the body will fall down. But without identifying with body and by identification with my, identification with Atma, I am absolutely secure. Not only now, for the rest of the life also. So that is the beauty. Disidentification with body, mind and senses and identification with Atma gives you that kind of not only fullness and security also. This is what this sloga say, definition. This continues in the next sloga also. We will continue.
Chapter 2, verse 56. The one who is not affected by adversities, who is without yearning for pleasures, and is free from longing, fear and anger, is said to be a wise person whose knowledge stays unshaken. That's the translation.
This we discussed in the qualification. That is, we should not jump in joy, and in when the circumstances are favorable to us or when we achieve something, at the same time we should not go to depression when things are unexpected things happen. So that is the qualification. But here it is the Lakshana. That is what is combined. When we started discussing about this Lakshana of the Prajna, we told this you can emulate, you can follow. That is, you should not get excited and elate when you achieve something, because behind your achievement, lot of things are there. Not only your efforts, circumstances, everything, and also God's grace and so many people's contribution. That is the background of that. I should not get elated. At the same time, when things are not okay, we should not get depressed, because we have to move. Once we get depressed, we will stand up, we will be blocked. So that is the reason, practically speaking. So these three things are followed by this. That is anger, desire, and everything you can transcend. If you have got this kind of attitude, not jumping in joy, not getting depressed. Because anger is an offshoot of desire. When the desire is not fulfilled, it is reflected as anger. That's why Veda Raga Bhaya Krodha means you will be free from Bhaya also. When you transcend all these things, not only the body, mind, intellect, disidentification also will help you to free from Bhaya, fear. Here also, this kind of means attitude or means maturity, high level maturity also will help you to be free from Bhaya, Krodha, anger and fear. And Raga. Raga means desires, that is attachments, likes. So this is the second sloka with the Lakshana of the Prajna. One more sloka also it is extending a part of that. That also we will see 57. 57.
तस्य प्रज्ञा स्थिता
Chapter 2, verse 57. The one who is unattached in all situations, who neither rejoices on gaining the pleasant nor hates the unpleasant, his knowledge is well established. That's the translation.
Here, abhisnega means attachment. So we are, many of the things are repeating. Repetition is required because you are taking a U-turn in your approach. All these years you are persuading in a way, so U-turn. Again, repetition will be there. That's what. Attachment is strangulation, shackles. Whereas affection is better, love is the best. Contribution and everything, you are free. See, the heart and mind, you just think over. So, what you have to do, intellectual and emotional, you have to be, discrimination is required. The emotional aspect, you foresee the consequence. By attachment, what do you get? Only more possessive, it is problem for you and the person. Affection is better, but love is contribution. Once you love your family people, you will be happy when they improve or when they stand on their own. Today also I was discussing. I will be the happiest person if all of you are, if I am dispensable to you. That is what the beauty of this subject. When you see the common sense balance also, no? There's when the baby is small, the baby will be catching hold of the mother's, or mother will catch hold of the baby's finger or hand and walk. But imagine, at the age of 10, if the person needs support, mother will not be happy. Mother expects that by the time of 3 or 4 years, the baby should be able to walk. Same thing. Here also, a real teacher, guru, will be happy if the disciple becomes independent of the guru. That's what is a very important thing. Abhisnega, that is attachment, is obsession with the people and everything. So you have to transcend that. That is the thing. It is also another symptom. The person will not have abhisnega. That is, love and affection is okay, but not attachment. That is highlighted here. Then one more thing. Anything is there, but just if you, few seconds pause. Yeah, because how the person can be free means his knowledge is based on Atma Anatma Viveka. That is the reason abhisnega will not be there, attachment will not be there. Affection and love will be there. That is exclusively born out of Atma Anatma Viveka. Means I am Atma because Atma is Purnaha. That is also, that is the one. No? Everyone is in me. So, why attachment will be there? If attachment can be there only if others are different from me. Nobody is different from me. Non-difference comes. Difference, okay, one logical thing is there anyway. The senior students can, just I'm getting now, I will tell you. Can you perceive difference? You can perceive Panjabhutas. You can perceive Panjabhutas. 5 elements you can perceive. Or you can infer. Or you can example all perceptions. You can perceive actions. You can perceive functions. Means it includes everything in the universe, any object. But can you perceive difference? What is the difference? Think over it logically. We will discuss in Sunday, one of the class. Sunday class, that also will announce. But we will be going from tomorrow, that before lunch group discussion. Not okay. I will discuss about those classes after finishing this class. So the jnani is not different from anything in the world. Purnaha, fulfillment. Then attachment will not be. It will go itself. In case of attachment, love will be there. So jnani's rest of the living period will be sharing, and for low sagraha, whatever it does. So that is the beauty of this 57th sloka. Then one sloka is the 59. Then we will go to the end slokas, 4 slokas. 59 is there, yeah.
राजं प्रसोप्यस्य परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते.
Chapter 2, verse 59. For the one who does not feed the senses come back to oneself, with the longing remaining behind, having seen Brahman when the self is known. Even the longing goes away. That's the translation.
You see, the mind will have its own way of functioning. Maturity comes in the intellect. So Antakarana has to function in unison. See, that is the very important thing, because that is why mind improvement is still possible. Even after getting the wisdom, I am dissociating myself from the mind, but I can improve the mind. So mind improvement is always possible. So that is why this sloka is very significant, because even after getting the wisdom, jnana, the rasa, the hangover may be there because of vasanas. Vasanas, psychic impressions come from birth after birth. It will be there, the mind. I am not the mind, that's okay. But what you are seeing is my body. Means my body means okay, I can take example. What you are listening from me is the outcome from my mind or speech. But you cannot tell that I will be totally free all the 24 hours, free from desires or totally free from anger and reactions. It may be there as per the circumstances, but maturity will help to come back to the tranquility. FIR reduction will happen, but the vasanas will be there, so that will continue. Here only we have to be very careful, because once the vasanas come, if I get attached to that, then that will bring the quality of the mind down. Though I identify myself as Atma. So we have heard the story of Durvasa and everything. People say Durvasa is a jnani, but may not be a siddhaprajna. So that kind of difference may happen. So total tranquility, total peace of mind may not be there full time, even muktas. So that state is there. So that's why warning, caution. You have to be careful. When the rasa, that clinging tendency comes, you have to foresee the higher aspect. That's why I always tell, for getting detached with the normal thing in the world, you have a higher goal. Example is children. In the age of 1 or 2, they will have that sound making, shaking thing. When they become 5 or 6, this shaking and the sound making things will be in the corner. They won't even care. That boys and girls will be after cycle and everything. When they become bigger, that even cycle, the 3-wheel cycle will not attract them, and they will not even care. They will be for 2-wheelers, or then afterwards bike. It goes. So like that, you also have the goal of self-knowledge, which is the full one. So that will help you to restrict, keep at bay this kind of rasas, the vasanas thing. So that's what one small example I was thinking to share. Again comes to flood. So it may be a sea coast. So then there were flood, and many things were taken by the floods, by the sea, from the apartments near the sea coast. Many things went. So people were trying to take them back. Naturally, fishermen or whatever, whoever there, their things are taken away by the water. These people try to take it back. So it was happening. The flood was not so severe. Everything was washed out. It was there. It was coming out, and some things were taken away from the apartments, and people are trying to take back the important things and everything. So one person saw a blanket, a rug. So he thought, better I take back the rug. It was floating. So he knows swimming. So he went and caught hold of that rug, woolen blanket, black, thick, and he is trying to pull. But there were people seeing the flood, and also when they were standing in the shore, they saw the other side of that rug. So they came to know it is not a rug, it is a bear. The bear can swim in water also. So they were shouting at this person, don't try to catch the rug and bring back. It is not a rug, it is a bear. Karadi. Then that person is not coming. Then they were shouting, shouting, shouting. And that person finally shouted, I am not holding the rug is holding me. But you got the point, no? The bear caught hold of him and finished. That is what? Searching for security. Searching for security through artha, through possession, position, relation, whatever thing, and also accumulating the assets. When you go on accumulating the assets in 40s, 50s, 60s, the same assets will become your Yama Dharma Raja. It will be the cause for your insecurity. Very, very important. We have seen in our own area it happened. So I don't want to quote any example. So nowadays, what your aim should be? Yes, health security is there. Secure your health, to take care of it and have for you and for your children, up to them to stand on their leg. If you want to accumulate wealth for your children, gone case, you will be in danger. Not only they will go everywhere and they will not have responsibility, it will be a danger for you at the end. You will lament, I have done everything for them, then I have not cared. All these things will haunt you when people are in the bed, not moving. So, this is very important. Security, security, security. Money has got its value, money has got its respect. At the same time, with knowledge only, you have to save money. So, this is what a story of this about this bear and everything. The rasa, that is taste. You have to handle it with very carefully. Now, I don't know the time. Now, this end part of the thing is there, very important one. Slokas 69, 70, 71 and 72. 71 is very simple. So, 69 is very important sloka. Very important. Day and night. Okay, yeah, we will see.
Chapter 2, verse 69. In that which is night for all beings, the one who is wise, who has mastery over oneself, is awake. That in which beings are awake is night for the wise one who sees. That's the translation.
See, I will tell you the beautiful translation of this. The ignorant people are asleep, unaware. The vision of reality. And the wise people are asleep, they ignore what is appearing real to the unwise. Otherwise, see, wise and otherwise is also a good term. Sloga is so tricky. What is day for wise? It is night for ignorant. What is night for wise? It is day for ignorant. That's all. Sloka. Adi Shankara is giving a beautiful commentary portion. One of the important slokas of Bhagavad Gita. This one and next one. Getting no? That is, see, the ignorant people are so much after the materialistic thing. Whereas the wise person, see, when people are after this, what is happening around, with the accumulation of money, it is for wise people, it is children fighting for ball or babies fighting. For example, baby is there, baby's doll is there. Most of the babies will not allow the person to touch the doll. We have seen, if you touch the doll, baby will cry. No. We will make fun of babies. Purposely we will touch it, it will cry. That is what a wise person keeps the crores and crores of people and that state. That comes. Definitely it comes. It is there. When people are fighting for monies and accumulating crores, we fund it. What is that? It's happening, you know. Finally they land up in jail. Not only they lose peace while accumulating, while saving it also. That's what yoga and Shema. Yoga is accumulating. It came in one of the story I did not tell at the time. Shema is protecting. How long you will do this? That is what transcending all these things and understanding that you are everything. That will stop all the things. So Yanisha Sarva Bhutana, beautiful sloga this is. What is the unwise people? No, unwise people, but otherwise, the ignorant people are giving so much importance to the materialistic. That is, they consider it's a day. For Jnani, it is a night. And what is day for the Jnani is what? Reality. That is, people tell them what is the proof, what is that foolish. So that is what? That is the night for them. Another the example is that day and night never meet. Day and night never meet. Sandhya is all okay for puja and everything, but how can, that's what a story is there. Sun was asked, Sun wanted to find Miss Darkness. Sun, S-U-N. Can Sun find out Miss Darkness? When night is there, day will not be there. Day is there, night will not be there. That's what a person, no, that is one, there was full darkness. So, the master told, take a lantern and place it wherever darkness is there. This fellow after 2 hours went with the lantern, going around all the room. When the lantern in his hand, room was having light. Then he thought, well, light is there. He came from that room and to another room. Lantern was in his hand. Now how we will find the darkness? And finally he came to the master and told, all the rooms are having light, so I am bringing back the lantern. That is what the beautiful thing, sun and the darkness story, all the things. Yanisha Sarva Bhutanam. Next block also will cover. Then I don't know what is the time. I am asking again. My people.
8:48.
Okay, the time is there. Good. So next sloka is a beautiful sloka. Apuryamanam Ajata Pradishtam. Samudra. Example, yeah.
Chapter 2, verse 70. Just as water flows into the ocean that is brimful and still, so too the wise person into whom all objects enter gains peace, remains unchanged, whereas the desirer of objects does not gain peace. That's the translation.
What a beautiful example of a jnani's mind. Apuryamanam Ajata Pradishtam means, see ocean or sea, you just have a perspective, you might not have seen, those who have not gone deep into the sea. People say deep into the sea is calm. Under surface there is something extra thing, usually. Not like shore, beach, waves will be there. But in the middle of the sea means I don't know how many kilometers you have to go, even after 4 or 5 kilometers. So, that is the tranquility, vast ocean. That is the state of mind of Jnani. What a beautiful example. Fullness. Does ocean expect river for its water? But water enters. Does it change? Whether river become dry or river is overflooded. What difference ocean has? Does ocean depend anything for water? In fact, clouds depend on ocean for water. From ocean, water evaporates, forms cloud, goes to the rivers, comes. That the input of the rivers does not overfill the ocean. At the same time, the dryness of the rivers cannot dry the ocean. What are the beautiful things? Similarly, the desires, even if they enter the jnani's mind, there won't be change. totally free from desire, no change. That's what. Any fluctuation in anything, Jnani's mind, the fullness will not change. Total loss, no change. Bumper awards, anything, no change. That's what the one small example is there. 2-3 Jnanis were having a discussion because Jnani's activities depends upon the vasanas. One person may be a ruler like Janaka, Ashwapati, they are all kings but Jnanis. Some people will be in the caves, nothing doing, only some fruits and everything, they will enjoy the bliss. Puj Swamiji, how many activities? Minimum 10 activities were there. 10 activities. In for seva, then other kinds of things in the rural activities and everything. Then teaching, then ashrama, then Adivasis like that. How many activities? Swami Paramahanandaji teaching. Beautiful. What? See, that's what depends upon their. So, but their inner mind is tranquil like a ocean. Ocean also, there are so many things, no? Activities, no? Waves are there, this are there. Ocean example for knowledge and teaching I will give separately. Ocean is given as an example for name, forms and functions, that is different. But here, Apuryamanarga is fullness of a Jnani. The desires may enter, won't change. The Jnani will lose. The few people were discussing, they were all Jnanis like Janaka and everything. So they were all business people. Yes, why not possible? So one business person was a Jnani. He was also discussing. So suddenly his assistant came and he told that business person Jnani, sir, the ship which was coming with all our consignments sunk. Totally out. What he told? Within a few seconds, so what? So the profoundness of this, depth of this knowledge is in the pause between the what and the so what. That is the profoundness. So what? This is the beauty of a Jnani. That is the beauty of the ocean. The rivers come, doesn't come, it makes no difference. Shashanti mapnodi nakamakami. Whether Jnani goes on doing activity, no problem. Total actionness, that we will see in the 3rd chapter, next round of teaching. I want to bring those things about the Gahana of the depth of karma, actions, it will be there. That is seeing action and inaction, that we will discuss in the next round of teaching. So this is the beauty of this ocean and everything. And finally one sloka, 71st sloka is about eligibility, 71st sloka. 72nd sloka, we are ending the 2nd chapter, that wholesome chapter. People say it is the end of knowledge. But Arjuna was go on asking questions. That is why the 3rd chapter to 18th chapter Bhagavan was teaching. Otherwise, everything is there in the 2nd chapter. That plan to finish is so 71, 72 combined. We will finish it.
Chapter 2, verse 71. Having given up all binding desires, the person who moves around, devoid of longing, without the sense of limited I and mind, gains peace. That's the translation.
That's why. It is not a state. Atma Jnanam is not a state. It is the nature, it is Swarupa. Swarupa for everyone, but one in 100 crores only knows, or 10 crores only knows. So that is what Yesha, Brahmi, Siddhaprat. See, the thing is that this is the end of this chapter, so it is summing up. It is nothing new. It is highlighting the glory of the Jnani, glory of the vision. One who reach this state is the end of everything. Means end of everything means he has seen the beginning and end of the creation, everything, birth and death. He transcends birth and death, he transcends time, he transcends space. Everything in the creation is an appearance, and it doesn't make any change in him because the Jnani understand is the changeless awareness. The changes are appearance, That's the glory and bhushana of a jnani. So enjoys the world activities and entertainment. And with this, second chapter ends. And
No, 72.
72 is
No, I have to keep.
72 she will keep. That's what I am explaining. Yasha Brahmi Siddha Prajna.
ब्राह्मी स्थितिविभाता नैनाप्राप्य विमुच्यते स्थित्वा स्यामन्तकालेऽपि ब्रह्मनिर्वाणमृच्छते.
Chapter 2, verse 72. Partha, that is Arjuna, this is what is meant by one's being in Brahman. Having gained this, one is not deluded. Remaining therein, even at the end of one's life, one gains liberation. That's the translation.
See that two very very subtle points are there, because it is the end of teaching. I want to tell the two things. One is that the ignorance, there are many things, 5 or 6 things are there which has no beginning. One is Brahman, another is Maya, then karma, then ignorance, ajnana. It has got an end. When the ignorance ends, when jnanam comes, when the darkness goes, light comes. When the jnanam goes, when the jnanam comes, ignorance goes away. The question is that once that jnanam comes, will that jnani again get a doubt? I may be the body mind, I may be the intellect, I may be the soul. Will it come? Jiva, I may be the jiva. No, it will not come. The reverse is not possible. Why? Once the jnanam is perfect, the ignorance cannot come. Why? The logical reason is beautiful. What we told? Ignorance has no beginning. Clearly understand. Ignorance has no beginning. It has got only end. When the end, jnanam comes, goes away. Then how the ignorance will begin? There's no beginning. This is one very important thing, beautiful thing, very very powerful thing, very very significant thing. Has to understand. When the jnanam is perfect, ignorance will not come. But mind improvement is possible. I told you already, I don't want to repeat. That is different. But ignorance will not come. This is one thing. The second thing, there is very, very subtle thing. Jnani, wise person, doesn't care about death. It can happen immediately, or after 1 year, or after 5 years, or after 10 years, or after 20 years. It makes no difference. The beauty, because absolutely no fear of death. Why? There's a logical reason. Jnani comes to know he is everything. Jnani comes to know he is everything. But he has got a body. The body has got prarabdha. What is death? The end of the body. What will happen to the body? Body will be merged with the earth or ash. So what will happen to the subtle body? It will not have the locus to hang over. Because Jnani understands he is no more a soul. The soul concept gone away. When the actor is finished from the shooting, he is not bothered about the role, no. So, we will discuss the deep things in the group discussion if you want. So, what happens to the Jnani on Videha Mukti? It's called Videha Mukti. That is, Jivan Mukti is after getting the Jnanam till the death of the body. The death of the body is Videha Mukti. Death of the body only, not death of the Jnani. So, what happens to Jnani on Videha Mukti? Just like that gross body mixes with the earth through ash or in the burying samadhi, subtle body merges with the total subtle body, Ishvara. So, Jnani is so happy as in the life he is Jivan Mukta, and when the body goes away, he becomes Ishvara. So, what is the why death is fear? Death is a glory for the Jnani. It's a very subtle matter. That's also I am telling because this is the end of the teaching. And the same thing will be in the second round. We plan about 5 minutes more.
Yeah, 2-3 minutes.
2-3 minutes. So,
Very nice.
I see. So I will tell that, then we will end with the Purnamadaga. So this is by God's grace, by Lord Krishna's grace, Yogeshwara, we have been able to finish one round of teaching. So the same teaching will be repeated in means Jnana Yogida is preparation and Karma Yoga. But here more of Karma Yoga, very less Bhakti, and then more of Jnana. The next round of teaching, what Ishwara's plan is, that is Karma Yoga will be there in the second chapter, sorry, third chapter, fourth chapter also, fifth chapter also. Along with that, Dhyana, contemplation. Some people are very fond of meditation, no? So, this is Karma Pradhana, Karma Yoga Pradhana, Jnana Yoga. Just like that for discussion only, there's nothing like that. But I am telling from my point. Next one will be Karma Yoga Pradhana, Dhyana Pradhana, Jnana Yoga. Then we will have 1 or 2 classes, whatever thing is that. Then we will have Karma Yoga, Bhakti and Jnana Yoga. Third round. Fourth round we will have Jnana mainly, 13th chapter, 9th chapter. And if God's will, the Purushottama Yoga is one chapter in itself, 15th chapter. That will, all the slokas are important, which contains so many things, but not much Karma Yoga. Then at the end, we will see how the benefits fructify, the logical aspects and everything, using the 18th chapter and some of the profound slokas of all other chapters. So 5-6 rounds of teaching is there, but this is the end of teaching. No, if you would have enjoyed any, I enjoyed today's teaching because by God's grace, the benefit part is my favorite part of teaching. So I enjoyed, so thank you very much. And then we will end with the Purnamada. Then after that, tomorrow's thing we will discuss, and I think it's around 9 o'clock.
ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेव वसिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ